Silent Guardian. The stars stretched like endless diamonds against the void as the UNSS Sentinel glided silently through space, its sleek silver hull gleaming in the light of a distant sun. The vessel represented the pinnacle of human engineering, officially classified as a diplomatic and scientific research ship, designed to forge connections across the galaxy and expand humanity's understanding of the universe. Captain Maya Chen stood on the observation deck, her dark eyes reflecting the cosmic vista before her. At 42, she carried herself with quiet confidence built over 2 decades of service to the United Earth Space Command. Her right hand rested on the polished railing as she watched the binary star system of Proxima Vela grow larger on the main view screen. "Captain, we're approaching Vela Station," called Lieutenant Zachary Okafor, the young Nigerian navigation officer. "ETA 30 minutes. "Thank you, Lieutenant," Maya replied, turning to face the bridge. "Dr. Rice, what's the status on our diplomatic package for the VRAX representatives?" Dr. Isabella Rice, the ship's chief xenanthropologist, looked up from her console. Her weathered face, marked by decades spent studying alien cultures across 3 star systems, creased with concern. "Ready, Captain, but I must express my reservations again. The VRAX Imperium has rejected our previous 17 diplomatic overtures. Their culture values strength above all else. They see our peaceful approaches as weakness." Maya nodded, having heard this assessment numerous times in the mission briefings. The VRAX Imperium had emerged as a significant power in the sector over the past decade. Reptilian in appearance with exoskeletons that natural evolution had crafted into living armor, they had expanded aggressively, subjugating 3 neighboring species already. "Nevertheless, we try again," Maya said firmly. "Humanity didn't reach the stars by giving up at the first obstacle." Commander Alexei Volkov, her executive officer and tactical specialist, approached with a datapad. The burly Russian had served alongside Maya for 7 years, and few could read her better. "Captain, latest intelligence reports suggest increased VRAX military activity in this sector," he said quietly. 6 warships detected within scanning range in the past week. Maya took the pad, scanning the information quickly. "Noted, Commander. Keep our defensive systems on standby, but passive only. We don't want to give them any excuse." "Understood," Volkov replied, though his expression revealed his disagreement with the order. The Sentinel continued its approach toward Vela Station, a neutral trading hub that orbited the larger of the twin stars. The station's distinctive wheel-shaped structure rotated slowly, housing representatives from 27 different species, including a small VRAX delegation that had reluctantly agreed to meet with the humans. As the ship docked, Maya adjusted her blue uniform and addressed the bridge crew. "Remember, we represent not just the United Earth government but humanity itself. The VRAX respect strength, yes, but they also respect dignity and resolve. Show them both." The diplomatic meeting went exactly as Dr. Rice had predicted. The VRAX delegation, led by War Commander Krell, towered over the human representatives. Their scaled bodies, ranging from dark green to burnished copper, were adorned with battle markings and ceremonial scars, each telling the story of conflicts won and enemies vanquished. "Your species continues to perplex us, Captain Chen," Krell said, his translator converting the series of clicks and hisses into English. "You build magnificent vessels but arm them with mere defensive capabilities. You expand to new worlds yet spend resources caring for the weak. You could be formidable, yet you choose to be fragile." Maya maintained eye contact with the alien, noting the dismissive way his inner eyelids flicked across his yellow eyes. "Different philosophies, War Commander. We believe true strength lies in creation rather than destruction, in healing rather than harming. The Sentinel carries scientists, doctors, and diplomats, because those are the tools we value most." Silent Guardian. The stars stretched like endless diamonds against the void as the UNSS Sentinel glided silently through space, its sleek silver hull gleaming in the light of a distant sun. The vessel represented the pinnacle of human engineering, officially classified as a diplomatic and scientific research ship designed to forge connections across the galaxy and expand humanity's understanding of the universe. Captain Maya Chen stood on the observation deck, her dark eyes reflecting the cosmic vista before her. At 42, she carried herself with quiet confidence built over 2 decades of service to the United Earth Space Command. Her right hand rested on the polished railing as she watched the binary star system of Proxima Vela grow larger on the main view screen. "Captain, we're approaching Vela Station," called Lieutenant Zachary Okafor, the young Nigerian navigation officer. "ETA 30 minutes. "Thank you, Lieutenant," Maya replied, turning to face the bridge. "Dr. Rice, what's the status on our diplomatic package for the VRAX representatives?" Dr. Isabella Rice, the ship's chief xenanthropologist, looked up from her console, her weathered face, marked by decades spent studying alien cultures across 3 star systems, creased with concern. "Ready, Captain, but I must express my reservations again. The VRAX Imperium has rejected our previous 17 diplomatic overtures. Their culture values strength above all else. They see our peaceful approaches as weakness." Maya nodded, having heard this assessment numerous times in the mission briefings. The VRAX Imperium had emerged as a significant power in the sector over the past decade. Reptilian in appearance with exoskeletons that natural evolution had crafted into living armor, they had expanded aggressively, subjugating 3 neighboring species already. "Nevertheless, we try again," Maya said firmly. "Humanity didn't reach the stars by giving up at the first obstacle." Commander Alexei Volkov, her executive officer and tactical specialist, approached with a datapad. The burly Russian had served alongside Maya for 7 years, and few could read her better. "Captain, latest intelligence reports suggest increased VRAX military activity in this sector," he said quietly. 6 warships detected within scanning range in the past week." Maya took the pad, scanning the information quickly. "Noted, Commander. Keep our defensive systems on standby, but passive only. We don't want to give them any excuse." "Understood," Volkov replied, though his expression revealed his disagreement with the order. The Sentinel continued its approach toward Vela Station, a neutral trading hub that orbited the larger of the twin stars. The station's distinctive wheel-shaped structure rotated slowly, housing representatives from 27 different species, including a small VRAX delegation that had reluctantly agreed to meet with the humans. As the ship docked, Maya adjusted her blue uniform and addressed the bridge crew. "Remember, we represent not just the United Earth government, but humanity itself. The VRAX respect strength, yes, but they also respect dignity and resolve. Show them both." The diplomatic meeting went exactly as Dr. Rice had predicted. The VRAX delegation, led by War Commander Krell, towered over the human representatives. Their scaled bodies, ranging from dark green to burnished copper, were adorned with battle markings and ceremonial scars, each telling the story of conflicts won and enemies vanquished. "Your species continues to perplex us, Captain Chen," Krell said, his translator converting the series of clicks and hisses into English. "You build magnificent vessels, but arm them with mere defensive capabilities. You expand to new worlds yet spend resources caring for the weak. You could be formidable, yet you choose to be fragile." Maya maintained eye contact with the alien, noting the dismissive way his inner eyelids flicked across his yellow eyes. "Different philosophies, War Commander. We believe true strength lies in creation rather than destruction, in healing rather than harming. The Sentinel carries scientists, doctors, and diplomats because those are the tools we value most." Krell made a sound that the translator didn't catch, something between a laugh and a growl. "Pretty words. The galaxy is not a gentle place, Captain. One day you will learn this lesson. I hope your species survives the teaching." The meeting concluded without progress, as the 17 before it had. As Maya led her team back to the Sentinel, Dr. Rice walked beside her. "That went better than expected," the anthropologist said dryly. Maya allowed herself a small smile. He didn't threaten to eat us this time. I call that a win. The Sentinel had just undocked from Vela Station when the emergency signal came through. Lieutenant Sarah Wong, communications specialist, straightened suddenly at her console. Captain, we're receiving a distress call from the Epsilon colony on Proxima Vela IV. Multiple casualties reported, some kind of industrial accident at their terraforming facility. Maya didn't hesitate. Change course immediately. Maximum sustainable speed. The colony is in Vrax-controlled territory, Volkov pointed out. It's a human colony with an international operating license recognized by the Galactic Concord, Maya countered. And they need help. That's all that matters right now. The Sentinel altered course, its engines pushing to emergency capacity as it raced toward the distant planet. Epsilon Colony had been established 5 years earlier, one of humanity's ambitious attempts to transform marginally habitable worlds into new homes for Earth's expanding population. Medical teams, prepare for mass casualties, Maya ordered through the ship-wide comm. Dr. Nakamura, activate all emergency medical protocols. As they approached the planet, the situation grew more concerning. Communications with the colony became sporadic, then silent. Sensor readings showed unusual energy signatures in orbit. Captain, Volkov said grimly, those aren't industrial accident readings. The colony is under attack. Maya's jaw tightened. Tactical assessment. 3 Vrax warships in orbit. They're systematically targeting the colony's defensive systems and power generation facilities. Open a channel, Maya ordered. When the connection established, the image of War Commander Krell appeared on screen, his battle armor now fully deployed around his massive frame. Captain Chen, he said, mandibles clicking in what might have been amusement. How predictable that you would come rushing to aid the weak. What is the meaning of this attack? Maya demanded. Epsilon Colony is a civilian installation operating under Galactic Concord protection. The colony has been harboring dissidents against the Imperium, Krell replied smoothly. We are merely securing our borders. Maya knew a fabricated excuse when she heard one. Withdraw your forces immediately, or we will be forced to report this violation to the Concord Security Council. Krell's laugh was harsh. And who will deliver this report, Captain? Your vessel stands alone against 3 warships. Even if your Sentinel carries hidden weapons, they would be insufficient. Stand down and withdraw, and we will consider allowing your ship to depart intact, a courtesy in recognition of our diplomatic relationship. The transmission cut, and Maya turned to her crew. The tension on the bridge was palpable. Options, she asked simply. We're outgunned, Captain, Volkov stated flatly. The Sentinel's defensive capabilities are significant, but not designed for this kind of confrontation. We can't abandon the colony, Dr. Rice said. There are over 3,000 civilians down there. Maya nodded slowly, her decision already made. Lieutenant Wong, send an encrypted transmission to Earth Command. Priority Alpha. Include all sensor data and our current situation. Aye, Captain. Commander Volkov, initiate defensive protocols. Position us between the Vrax ships and the colony. Dr. Nakamura, prepare your medical teams. We'll need shuttle evacuations as soon as we can secure a corridor. The crew moved with practiced efficiency, though Maya could see the concern in their eyes. The Sentinel was not a warship. Its primary mission was scientific exploration and diplomatic outreach. While it carried defensive systems, they were designed for protection, not confrontation with multiple military vessels. The Sentinel moved into position, its shields at maximum, as it positioned itself as a barrier between the Vrax warships and the vulnerable colony below. On the view screen, Maya could see the 3 predatory vessels adjusting their positions, clearly preparing to address this unexpected obstacle. They're targeting us, Volkov reported calmly. Energy signatures indicate weapons charging. Maya took a deep breath. Open a channel to all Vrax vessels. When the connection was established, she spoke with firm resolve. Vrax vessels, this is Captain Chen of the UNSS Sentinel. We are positioned to defend Epsilon Colony, as is our right under Galactic Concord Resolution 487. Any attack on this vessel will be considered an act of war against the United Earth government. The response came in the form of energy weapons flaring from the lead Vrax ship. The impact rocked the Sentinel, but its advanced shields held. "Return fire," Volkov asked, hands poised over the tactical controls. Maya shook her head. "Not yet. Let them make their intentions absolutely clear to the galaxy." The second volley struck with greater force, causing power fluctuations across multiple decks. Damage reports began flooding in from various sections of the ship. "Hull breach on Deck 7, Lieutenant Wong called out. Emergency force field activated. A third barrage followed, more precisely targeted. The Sentinel shuddered under the assault, and Maya knew they couldn't withstand much more. "Captain," Wong called, "I'm receiving a transmission from Earth Command." "Admiral Katri." The view screen shifted to show the stern face of Admiral Priya Katri, her silver-streaked black hair pulled back in a severe bun. "Captain Chen, we've received your transmission and are dispatching reinforcements, but they're hours away. Your standing orders are to protect Earth citizens and uphold Concord law." "Understood, Admiral," Maya replied. "Permission to invoke Nightfall Protocol." A moment of silence passed, and the Admiral's expression grew even more serious. "Confirmed, Captain. Authorization code: Sierra November 97 Delta. Nightfall is authorized." The transmission ended, and Maya turned to Volkov. "Commander, activate Nightfall Protocol." Volkov's eyes widened slightly, the first time Maya had ever seen genuine surprise on the taciturn Russian's face. "Captain, are you certain?" "I am," she replied calmly. "Authorization code: Sierra November 97 Delta." Volkov nodded, then moved to a section of the bridge that had always appeared to be a standard environmental control panel. He placed his palm against it, then spoke clearly. "Commander Alexei Volkov. Authorization: Nightfall Protocol." The panel slid aside, revealing a sophisticated console that had remained hidden from view. As Volkov entered a complex sequence of commands, Maya addressed the rest of the bridge crew. "What you are about to witness is classified at the highest level," she said calmly. "The Sentinel is more than it appears to be. Much more." Throughout the ship, hidden compartments began to open. Sections of bulkheads that had seemed like standard structural components reconfigured themselves. In engineering, Chief Engineer Martina Okonjo watched in astonishment as systems she hadn't known existed came online, power signatures unlike anything she'd ever seen before. On the bridge, Maya stood straight, her hands clasped behind her back as she watched the transformation of her vessel. The Vrax ships were moving in for what they believed would be a killing blow against a defenseless scientific vessel. They were about to learn how deeply they had miscalculated. "Nightfall Protocol engage, Captain," Volkov reported. "All systems coming online." "Thank you, Commander," Maya said, her voice steady despite the ship rocking from another Vrax attack. "Now, let's show War Commander Krell what human weakness truly looks like." Reckoning. War Commander Krell watched with satisfaction as his ships pounded the human vessel. The Sentinel's shields were failing. Soon the pathetic diplomatic ship would be nothing but debris, and the human colony below would follow. This would teach the soft species the true nature of the galaxy. "War Commander," his sensor officer called, mandibles clicking in confusion. "I'm detecting unusual power fluctuations from the human vessel." "Their systems are failing," Krell dismissed. "Prepare the final barrage." "No, sir," the officer insisted. "These are new power signatures, ones not previously detected. The readings are significant." Before Krell could respond, his tactical display transformed. Where there had been one defenseless scientific vessel, sensors now showed something altogether different. Weapon ports were opening along the Sentinel's hull, far more than any diplomatic ship should carry. Energy readings spiked to levels that rivaled his own warships. "Impossible," he hissed. On the bridge of the Sentinel, Captain Maya Chen watched the confusion evident in the hesitation of the Vrax vessels. She allowed herself a small, grim smile. "Open a channel to the lead Vrax ship," she ordered. When War Commander Krell's face appeared on screen, Maya noted with satisfaction the shock evident in his reptilian features. "War Commander," she said calmly, "I believe there's been a misunderstanding about the nature of the UNSS Sentinel. Allow me to clarify." At her nod, Volkov initiated a targeted demonstration. A series of precise energy pulses erupted from the Sentinel, striking the lead Vrax vessel's weapon systems with surgical accuracy. "The shots disabled rather than destroyed," a pointed message. The United Earth government learned long ago that peaceful intentions must sometimes be backed by the capacity for decisive action. Maya continued. "The Sentinel's primary mission is diplomatic and scientific, yes, but we're also what you might call insurance." Krell's inner eyelids flickered rapidly. What manner of deception is this? No scientific vessel carries such weaponry. Not deception, War Commander. Preparation. Every human diplomatic vessel contains similar capabilities, hidden until needed. We extend our hands in peace, but we are never defenseless. The bridge of the Sentinel had transformed. Holographic tactical displays now surrounded Maya's command chair, providing real-time battle analysis that even the most advanced military vessels would envy. Lieutenant Wang's communication station had expanded to include electronic warfare capabilities, while Volkov now controlled weapons systems that had remained dormant since the ship's launch. "All offensive systems online," Captain Volkov reported. "Targeting solutions acquired for all 3 Vrax vessels." Maya kept her eyes on Krell. "You have a choice, War Commander. Withdraw now, and we can discuss reparations for the colony through diplomatic channels, or continue this attack and discover exactly what happens when humanity's patience reaches its limit." On his bridge, Krell faced a decision that would define his career, perhaps his life. The human ship had revealed capabilities that his intelligence had never hinted at. 2 of his tactical officers were frantically analyzing the new sensor readings, their scales changing color in what Krell recognized as fear. "War Commander," his second-in-command said quietly, "the human vessel now outguns us, and I'm detecting unusual energy signatures at the edge of the system, possibly more human ships approaching." Pride warred with pragmatism in Krell's mind. To retreat would bring shame before the Imperium, but to be destroyed would serve no purpose at all. "Human vessel," he finally responded, "there has indeed been a misunderstanding. We will withdraw to discuss this situation through appropriate channels." "A wise decision," Maya replied. "But before you go, you will allow our shuttles to evacuate wounded colonists from the surface. Any interference with this humanitarian operation will be met with immediate response." Krell's mandibles tightened in anger, but he nodded curtly. "Granted." As the transmission ended, Maya immediately turned to her crew. "Begin evacuation operations. Medical teams to shuttles 1 through 4. Dr. Nakamura, coordinate triage protocols." "Yes, Captain," came the replies as the crew sprang into action. Maya turned to Volkov. "Keep weapons locked on those ships. If they so much as power up their targeting systems, I want to know." "Already done," he confirmed. "Captain, should I maintain Nightfall Protocol at full activation?" Maya considered the question. Once revealed, the Sentinel's true nature couldn't be hidden again, at least not from the Vrax. "Maintain current status. Let them see exactly what they're dealing with." For the next 6 hours, the Sentinel coordinated rescue operations, retrieving wounded colonists while maintaining its protective position. The Vrax ships remained at a distance, weapons powered down, but obviously watching every move the human vessel made. During this time, Lieutenant Wang approached Maya with a concerned expression. "Captain, I've intercepted communications between the Vrax vessels. They're discussing something called Phase 2 and mentioning reinforcements." Maya frowned. "They're planning another attack, even after seeing what we're capable of." "It's unclear, but they seem to be waiting for something or someone." The answer came 3 hours later, when the ship's sensors detected multiple vessels dropping out of FTL at the edge of the system. Contact, Volkov announced. 8 vessels. Vrak's signatures. Maya straightened in her chair. Even with the Sentinel's hidden capabilities, 11 warships presented odds beyond what they could handle alone. Status of the evacuation, she asked. 87% complete, Dr. Nakamura reported from the medical bay. Approximately 400 colonists still awaiting transport. Maya's mind raced through options. They could try to hold their position until the evacuation was complete, but against 11 warships, the Sentinel would eventually be overwhelmed. Retreat would save the ship but condemn the remaining colonists. Captain, Wam called suddenly. I'm receiving a transmission, not from the Vraks. It's using an Earth Command encryption pattern. On screen, Maya ordered, hope rising. The view screen shifted to show a human face. Dark-skinned, with a closely cropped beard and eyes that spoke of years of hard experience. He wore no visible rank insignia, just a simple black uniform. Captain Chen, the man said with a nod. Commander Marcus Reeves, UNSS Spectre. Sorry, we're late to the party. Commander, Maya replied, relief evident in her voice. Your timing is impeccable. We're facing 11 Vraks warships and still have colonists to evacuate. Reeves gave a small smile that never reached his eyes. We're aware of the situation. Earth Command received your Nightfall activation. The Spectre and her sister ships have been dispatched to resolve the matter. Sister ships? Maya questioned. As if in answer, the sensors chimed. Where there had appeared to be just one new vessel, now 6 black ships seemingly materialized, their stealth systems deactivating simultaneously. Earth Special Operations vessels, Volkov murmured with something approaching reverence. I've heard of them, but never. On the screen, Commander Reeves continued. Captain, please focus on completing your evacuation. We'll handle the Vrak situation. Commander, Maya said quickly, the Vraks need to understand that humanity wants peace, even if we must demonstrate strength to achieve it. Reeves studied her for a moment, then nodded. Understood, Captain. Will be proportional. The transmission ended, and Maya turned to see the tactical display updating. The 6 black ships, each smaller than the Sentinel, but radiating power signatures that defied conventional understanding, were moving into formation. What are we looking at, Commander? She asked Volkov. Shadow-class vessels, he replied quietly. Officially, they don't exist. Unofficially, they're what Earth sends when diplomacy has failed but full military engagement isn't warranted. They operate on the edge of known physics. Maya watched as the Vraks fleet, clearly detecting the new arrivals, began to maneuver into a defensive formation. Their earlier confidence seemed to have evaporated. Open a channel to War Commander Krell, Maya ordered. When Krell's face appeared, she noted the tension in his posture. War Commander, I see your reinforcements have arrived. As have ours. I suggest we avoid further bloodshed. Krell's inner eyelids flickered rapidly. What manner of trickery is this? Those vessels appeared from nowhere. Not trickery. Technology. Just as you misjudged the Sentinel, you've misjudged humanity's capabilities. We prefer peace, but we are prepared for war. The choice remains yours. Before Krell could respond, one of the shadow vessels moved. It accelerated at a rate that seemed to bend physics, positioning itself between 3 Vraks warships in seconds. A pulse of energy, not a conventional weapon but something that distorted space itself, emanated from the vessel. The effect was immediate and shocking. The 3 Vrak ships suddenly went dark, their systems completely disabled. They drifted, powerless and vulnerable, in the void. What have you done? Krell demanded, genuine fear now evident in his voice. Our forces have simply demonstrated a fraction of their capabilities. Maya replied calmly. Those ships are disabled, not destroyed. Their life support systems remain functional. The rest of your fleet can expect similar treatment if you continue this aggression. The remaining shadow vessels positioned themselves strategically around the Vrax fleet, clearly prepared to disable the entire force if necessary. War Commander, Maya continued, humanity has tried 17 times to establish peaceful relations with the Vrax Imperium. We've offered trade, cultural exchange, and mutual defense pacts. Each time, you've interpreted our desire for peace as weakness. Today, you've learned otherwise. On his bridge, Krell faced the most significant defeat of his career. 3 of his ships floated helpless, disabled by technology he couldn't comprehend. The rest of his fleet was surrounded by vessels that had appeared like ghosts from the void itself. "What are your terms?" he finally asked, mandibles tight with suppressed rage. "Immediate withdrawal from this system. Formal recognition of Epsilon Colony's protected status under the Galactic Concord. Reparations for damages and casualties caused by your unprovoked attack." Maya paused, then added, "and a commitment to genuine diplomatic engagement going forward." Krell's scales darkened with humiliation, but he was a pragmatist at heart. "Agreed. Under protest." "Noted," Maya replied. "Our vessels will escort your fleet to the system boundary. Your disabled ships will be towed by your own vessels. Their systems will reactivate once they've left the system." As the transmission ended, Maya allowed herself to exhale slowly. The bridge crew maintained their professional demeanor, but she could sense their relief. "Continue evacuation operations," she ordered. "Priority on the wounded. I want every colonist safely aboard within 2 hours." "Yes, Captain," came the acknowledgments. Commander Volkov approached her chair. "Captain, permission to speak freely?" "Always, Alexei. The Nightfall Protocol. I never truly believed we would use it." He hesitated. Was it worth revealing one of Earth's most closely guarded secrets? Maya considered the question, watching on the display as the shadow vessels herded the Vrax fleet away from the colony. 3,000 lives saved. A potential war averted. Yes, I believe it was worth it. "And the Vrax will tell others about what they witnessed today," Volkov pointed out. "Good," Maya said firmly. "Let the galaxy understand that humanity's commitment to peace is genuine. But so is our capacity to defend ourselves and others when necessary." Hours later, with the evacuation complete and the Vrax fleet departed under escort, Maya stood in the Sentinel's medical bay. Beds filled every available space, occupied by injured colonists receiving treatment. Dr. Nakamura approached, looking exhausted but satisfied. "We've stabilized all critical cases," she reported. 27 dead, over 200 injured, but the rest will recover fully. "Thank you, Doctor," Maya said sincerely. "Your team has performed admirably." As she moved through the makeshift ward, a small hand reached out, catching her sleeve. Maya looked down to see a young girl, perhaps 10 years old, with bandages covering most of her right side. "Are you the captain?" the child asked, her voice weak but determined. Maya knelt beside the bed. "I am. My name is Maya." "I'm Sophia," the girl replied. "They said you saved us, that you stood between us and the monsters." Maya smiled gently. "My crew and I did our job. And those weren't monsters, Sophia, just people who made bad choices." "Will they come back?" Fear flickered in the child's eyes. "No," Maya said with certainty. "They've learned an important lesson about humanity today." "What lesson?" Maya considered how to explain complex geopolitical realities to a child who had just lived through trauma. "Finally," she said, "that humans will always extend a hand in friendship first. But we will never hesitate to make a fist if that hand is slapped away." Sophia seemed to consider this, then nodded solemnly. "Like my dad says, be nice, but don't be a pushover." A small laugh escaped Maya. "Your dad sounds wise. Get some rest now." As she left the medical bay, Maya received a notification from Lieutenant Wong. "Captain, incoming transmission from Earth Command. Admiral Katri." In her ready room, Maya accepted the call. Admiral Katri's stern face appeared on screen, but Maya detected a hint of approval in her expression. Captain Chen, I've reviewed the preliminary reports. Your actions today were decisive. Thank you, Admiral. The colony is secure, and the Vraks have withdrawn. Commander Reeves and his team were instrumental in resolving the situation. Ketri nodded. The Shadow Fleet has reported similarly. This incident will have significant diplomatic ramifications. The Vrax Imperium has already contacted Earth through their ambassadors on Centauri Prime. Seeking retribution? Maya asked. Surprisingly, no. They're requesting formal diplomatic talks at the highest levels. It seems today's demonstration has adjusted their perspective on humanity's place in the galactic order. Maya couldn't hide her surprise. That's unexpected. Perhaps not, Katri replied. The Vraks respect strength above all. Today they learned that humanity's philosophical approach to interstellar relations isn't born from weakness, but from choice. A species capable of building vessels like the Sentinel and the Shadow Fleet, yet choosing diplomacy first. That's something their culture can now comprehend. And the Nightfall Protocol. Its existence is now known. The Admiral's expression grew serious. A calculated risk, but one that has paid dividends. The galaxy will talk, of course. Some species may fear us more, others may respect us more. But all will understand that humanity's outstretched hand should never be mistaken for a vulnerable throat. After the transmission ended, Maya returned to the bridge. The Sentinel was preparing to depart, the rescue operation complete. Through the viewscreen, she could see one of the shadow vessels still visible nearby, its black hull absorbing rather than reflecting the light of the binary stars. Course, Captain. Lieutenant Okafor asked from navigation. Maya considered the question. With the Nightfall Protocol revealed, the Sentinel's cover as a purely diplomatic vessel was compromised. Yet its primary mission remained unchanged: to build bridges between species, to heal wounds, to explore and understand. Set course for Earth, Lieutenant, she decided. The Sentinel needs some repairs, and our guests need proper medical facilities. After that, she smiled slightly. After that, I believe we have a diplomatic mission to prepare for. It seems the Vrax Imperium is finally ready to talk. As the Sentinel engaged its engines, leaving the Proxima Vela system behind, Maya reflected on the day's events. Humanity had revealed one of its closely guarded secrets, that its commitment to peace was backed by formidable strength. The galaxy would now see them differently. Not as naive idealists, easy prey for more aggressive species. Not as warriors hiding behind a mask of diplomacy. But as what they truly were, a species that had learned the hardest lessons of its own violent history. That true strength lay in choosing peace when possible, and being prepared for war when necessary. The stars streaked past as the Sentinel accelerated to FTL speeds, carrying its message of human duality to the waiting galaxy.